too, when he got his first 1,000 there at the 5,000 mark, and I'm very happy to be here, and hopefully that he gets that 10,000 mark today.
The folks in Seattle, of course, are looking to Theodis Brown, the newcomer. 3 weeks he's been here, came from the Cardinals, done a good job running, and it will be Jim Zorn at quarterback. Zorn has been under fire, taken out of the game at Green Bay last week when the Seahawks were still very much in it. But Zorn gets the call at quarterback today, and a very important game it is for the Pittsburgh Steelers as we look at the Central Division standings. Five and 4, Seattle 2 and 7. This is Jay Randolph along with Rocky Blyer. Ready to kick off. Efren Herrera for the Seahawks. Frank Pollard along with Larry Anderson are back. And we're underway. A big ball game for the Steelers. That's Anderson at the 15. Out to the 20, 25, to the 28-yard line. Anderson stopped on the play. Number 42, Keith Simpson came up to make the play. Bradshaw will start with Pollard and Harris. Harris needing 58 yards to be the third man in the history of the game to get 10,000. Stallworth, Smith, and Cunningham. Finney, a local boy, along with Wolfley, Webster, Corson, and Brown. First down at the 29-yard line. Anderson returning that kickoff 25 yards. Mark Malone is a wide receiver in the game as that change was made. And that was Frank Pollard, who was wiped out by Jacob Green, number 79 for the Seahawks. Green, Mike White is starting for the injured Robert Hardy. He has an ankle injury and won't play today. Sutherland and Tuiasosopo. Jackson, Norman, and Butler, the backers. In the secondary, Simpson, Brown, Easley, and Harris. A good group there. It'll be a loss of 1 on that first play and make it second down. Just underway. The Seahawks 2 and 7. They can let it all hang out today against these Steelers who need a win. Bradshaw to Harris. Harris over the 30. At the 31-yard line, he's met by Tuiasosopo, number 74. Franco Harris starting today with 590 yards on the season and a 4.5 average.
You know, Franco, we're going to see a lot today, and I'm sure they're going to try to get Franco the ball quite a bit, but they're going to have to establish a running game. I think that's the strong part of that whole offensive system. We did it last week. We're going to try to do it this week.
Third down and 7 at the 32-yard line. Bradshaw, first pass of the day, going to the far sideline, and the catch is good at the 49-yard line. John Stallworth. Boy, he took that one right off the top of the turf. He was covered nicely by the safety man, Harris, number 44. A first down for the Steelers at their own 48-yard line, a pickup of 16.
You know, John has done that so often throughout the years, making those great sliding catches. He has great concentration on that ball, and you can see right there, came up with that catch. Big play.
Calvin Sweeney, number 85, along with Stallworth, 82, the wide receivers, as Malone has come out. Smith hurting a little bit, but is expected to play. This is Pollard. Pollard down inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. Joe Norman, the linebacker, number 52 on the play. A pickup of 8. Now Mark Malone is coming back in. Apparently Malone and Sweeney are rotating, and is that with plays from the bench?
Primarily, I talked to Bradshaw before the game. He had gone to Chuck Noll because of all the heat, not having his game together, to have Chuck call the plays. Chuck will be calling most of the plays this afternoon by alternating the players.
Now, Terry Bradshaw wanted it that way. Second down and 2. Franco Harris to the 40 and down to the 35-yard line. Harris moving toward the 10,000 mark. Joe Norman, 52 on the tackle, along with John Harris, 44. First down at the 35-yard line. Harris now coming out of the game, and Russell Davis, number 45, the second-year man from Michigan, the short yardage specialist, is in there. Oh, it's Pollard 44 and Davis 45 behind Terry Bradshaw. Pollard down inside the 30. Gets to the 27-yard line. John Harris again, the safety man, with help from the linebacker Keith Butler, 53, and Rocky at the moment. The Steelers are sticking it to him.
Very well off that left side of that offensive line, right side of that defense. They really felt that Seattle's defense liked to do a lot of stunning with those linebackers. Those linebackers are very rangy. They run very fast. They like to take advantage of that, get them out of position, and run those traps.
Pollard and Harris in the backfield. 2nd down and 2 at the 27-yard line. Harris getting to the outside. Cracks down. Got the first down at the 23. Keith Simpson, number 42, coming up to make the tackle. A pickup of about 5. Franco Harris.
You watch one great thing Franco does. He doesn't see anything in the middle. He's got a great stutter step, and he can come on out. But Seattle has a man that's going to come right into the scene. Simpson, number 42. They're not going to allow him to try to get all that yardage that everybody's expecting him to do. He came up and make a great tackle.
Harris needs 39 yards. Starting today, he needed only 10 attempts to go by Jimmy Brown. 1st and 10 at the 23. And a whistle as the ball was snapped. And the first opportunity for the officials to get involved in this game. The referee is Dick Jorgensen. Offside against the Seahawks. Jorgensen is a banker from Champaign, Illinois. The Central Division standings, Cincinnati playing at San Diego this afternoon. Pittsburgh here.
Defense, still 1st down.
Houston is winning. It's 1st and 5 at the 18. And the quarterback keeper by Bradshaw. He got to the 13-yard line before he was dumped back by Jacob Green, number 79.
I don't know whether that was a quarterback keeper. I think he just missed the handoff there. Franco was a little surprised. He turned around and kind of looked at Brad.
They give the gain down to the 14-yard line. Sidney Thornton, number 38, coming into the game. Thornton, who had the fumble problems in the opener, has played very sparingly. He's been in Chuck Noll's doghouse a little bit. But Noll calling the plays today, using the backs and the wide receivers to send them in. 2nd down and 1 at the 14. Malone, a wide receiver, set right. And up the middle goes Thornton. And Thornton's across the 10. And the Steelers at the moment running at will against this Seahawk defense. Tuiasa Sopo, who moved 5 weeks ago over to the right end position, number 74, made the tackle. The Seahawks on defense are 5th in the AFC, but they are 13th against the rush, and you are seeing why right now.
You know, one of the problems that they've had, they like to stop the pass much more than the run, but they don't have anything to lose going into the remaining game, so you might see some changes taking place in that defense.
1st down, goal to go. That's Pollard to the 6-yard line. Pollard started the day with 418 yards and a fine 4.9 rushing average. Michael Jackson, 55, the linebacker, and Mike White, number 70. Mike, who came over as a free agent from Cincinnati, making the stop. Now Calvin Sweeney comes in and Malone comes out. Ball situated at the 6-yard line. 8.5 to go, 1st half. The Steelers have marched right down the field. Pollard and Harris behind Bradshaw. Franco at the 5. And touchdown! Franco Harris. Touchdown number 6 on the season. The big guy just put his head down and banged it in there.
Where he knew it was important. We had set it up. They needed to establish a running game. Franco knew how important getting down there. He had some great blocks throwing. They caught Seattle in a stacked linebacker position, took advantage of it, and snuck in there in the goal line.
Craig Colquitt will hold. David Trout will attempt. Trout, a little man, picks it up and good. With 8 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the 1st quarter, the Steelers have jumped out to a 7-0 advantage here in the 1st quarter. Well, a very impressive drive, Rocky Blyer.
Very much so. They came into this game wanting to establish a running game. They controlled the ball, which is always a necessary thing. There's a man sitting right there that finally took it in for that 6 points and has had an exciting first series of plays running that ball.
Franco Harris is a man who is really healthy again, and he's playing like a youngster.
He hasn't, I hate to say, he hasn't played this well since 1976. They got off to a great start. Franco has usually been kind of a slow starter, but he came in healthy, plays very well, doesn't really necessarily want to call this at the end of the season.
We welcome those of you who've been watching the action with the Houston Oilers. There is Franco Harris, who has just scored as the Steelers in 11 plays marched right down the field. Now Trout is kicking off. Eric Lane and Will Lewis are back. Lane downing it in the end zone, and the Seahawks will get it for the first time. We're going to show you Franco Harris's touchdown and Rocky Blyer, his old teammate, to describe it.
Well, let's take a look at this. You know what, that offensive line in front of them, those big guys, they do an excellent job on straight blocking. This was just a straight blocking play. You can see right there they got Butler caught up inside, and Franco just legs it to the end zone, sneaks underneath for the touchdown.
Harris, 4 rushes for 24 yards. He needs 58 yards to get 10,000 and be the third man in National Football League history to do it. But now we see the Seahawks with Jim Zorn at quarterback. Zorn handing off to Theodis Brown. Brown, a nice run over the right side by the newcomer. Brown, out of UCLA, joining the Seahawks 3 weeks ago. They got him from the St. Louis Cardinals, and he means a lot to this club already.
He really does. All I can say is, what would this club have been if they would have had him at the beginning of the season? He does things extremely well, as you can see, breaking outside, but more importantly, gives them that running ground game, that consistency that they haven't had.
And look at that statistic right there. Brown was not playing at St. Louis, where Otis Anderson, along with Wayne Morris, were the top 2 backs, and he couldn't break through there. Second down and 1. Hand off to Theodis Brown, and looks like he's got the first down. The way to put it down, he may not. No, he might be just a bit short. Let's see. We're going to have a measurement. Zorn with Brown and Dornick in the backfield. McCullum, the talented Steve Largent, and John Sawyer, the receivers. Yarno in the middle with Bailey and Newton. Essink and August.
August is from a little small town back in Pittsburgh, Jeanette, Pennsylvania.
That's right outside of Pittsburgh. Jeanette. With Rocky Blyer, this is Jay Randolph. Hope you're enjoying the action wherever you are as the Steelers lead it 7-0. Just short. The defense for the Steelers: Goodman, Beasley, Dunn, and Coors. The brilliant linebackers: Woodruff, Blunt, Shell, and Thomas in the secondary. Boyd is in there now and is actually a tackle eligible the way they line up on this 3rd and short yardage, because Boyd is as the tight end. And the handoff for the first down up to about the 33-yard line. Dornick stopped by John Vanasek, 76, and Jack Lambert, 58. So the Steelers were able to show that they could rush the ball along the ground, and the Seahawks are doing a good job early.
Well, they felt that they had to do that as well, be able to control the ball and establish that running game.
Steve Rabel, 83, in there now with McCullum and Largent, 3 wide receivers for Zorn to go to. Trouble on the handoff. Theodis Brown. And all Theodis could do on that occasion was hold on. Beasley, 65, and Goodman, 95, were there. A loss of 6 on the play.
The number 1 running play that the Seattle Seahawks love to run is that sprint draw. We've just seen it. It didn't work very well for them with a little mix-up back there. That defensive front 4 for the Steelers really smelled it out.
Sawyer comes back at tight end, number 81. Rabel goes out. Largent at the bottom of the screen. McCullum at the top. 2nd and 15 at the 30. Tackle, number 67 on the tackle. Let's go to New York and Bryant Gumbel.
In Foxborough, John Smith's 34-yard field goal with 15 seconds left has moved the Patriots in overtime against the Dolphins. That ball game is deadlocked at 27 as they start the extra session. The Dolphins have won the coin flip.
There is Jack Patera. Thank you, Bryant Gumbel, for updating us on that action up in New England. That's a dandy going there. Into overtime. New England and Miami. Jack Patera watching his troops. Now facing 3rd and 24. The left-hander trying to set up a screen. Does to Theodis Brown. He's at the 30, the 35, and all the way out to the 38-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but a very well-designed play. Dwayne Woodruff, the quarterback, number 49, ran Brown out of bounds on the far side.
They did it perfectly. They really set it up. We wanted to get to the rusher there in deep territory. They let that defensive line penetrate, and with Theodis Brown as a running back and thrown to him, he got out there. As you were saying, Jay, not enough.
A 17-yard pickup, but Jeff West is on to do the punting, averaging 39.4. He'll be kicking to a single setback, Larry Anderson. Anderson averaging 6 yards per return. A high wobbly kick. Anderson coming up at the 27, the 30, 35. Penalty marker down. Anderson almost stepped away to the outside. Brought down on the play by Michael Jackson, number 55, the linebacker. Dick Jorgensen and his officials meeting. Indication is the penalty will go against Pittsburgh. It was a 36-yard punt, a 15-yard return.
Illegal block above the waist. Number 54, receiving team. First down.
The penalty against the Pittsburgh Steelers. When we come back, they'll have the ball at the 24-yard line, leading 7-0 over the Seahawks. With Rocky Blyer, Jay Randolph at the King Dome in Seattle, 7-0, the Steelers. Rocky on that first Steeler drive, 71 yards and 11 plays. They had a 16-yard pass in there, and the rest was 55 yards rushing.
Well, they're going to try to keep it on the ground until Seattle takes their running game away from them, or until Franco gets the needed yards to get that 10,000 mark.
First down from the 24-yard line. Hand off to Frank Pollard. Pollard, the little guy from Baylor. Norman, 52 on the tackle. Pollard, quite a story as we look at this defensive unit, as they rank, as we told you, 13th against the rush and 3rd against the pass. Pollard coming out of the game now will be replaced by Sidney Thornton. Pollard kind of went to him as a last resort.
11th round draft choice last year, make this team. They went through Sidney Thornton, they went through Greg Hawthorne, found a gem in this man right there.
Second down and 11. Play action over the middle, intercepted. Coming back with it, Michael Jackson. Jackson's at the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Seattle! A penalty marker is down. A penalty marker is down back upfield at the 30-yard line. Michael Jackson picking it off. Went in. The officials now discussing the penalty. A penalty against Seattle.
You can see, Jay, Jack Patera doesn't like that call, neither do the fans here. What a great opportunity to tie this game up. But the one thing is that Seattle has the ball in good scoring position.
They do have the ball. Dick Jorgensen has not indicated what the penalty was. A 34-yard return by Michael Jackson. his first interception of the season. And now they're bringing the ball back down and going to march it off from the 20-yard line, which will put the ball at the 30. Let's listen.
Illegal block. On the waist.
The call goes against Keith Butler, the linebacker, number 53.
You know, we were running the ball so well that first series the Steelers were that they tried to do a play action, but Jackson really read it very well. Bradshaw kind of hung the ball a little low, and he picked it off for a nice return there. Too bad they had the penalty.
A big turnover. Handoff goes to Dornick. And Dornick gets a couple of hard-earned yards. Tom Beasley, 65 on the tackle. Again to New York, Bryant Gumbel.
All right, Jay, in Baltimore, the Colts are trying to snap a club record 8-game losing streak. Burt Jones, a 3-yard touchdown pass to Randy McMillan, has Baltimore in front of the Jets, 7-3 in the first. Jay?
Bryant Gumbel doing a splendid job as always this Sunday afternoon, keeping you up to date on the happenings around the National Football League. McCullum is out of the lineup. Mike Tice, 86, an extra tight end is in there. 2nd and 8 at the 28-yard line. Out of the eye. Otis Brown, first down. Beautiful faking by the left-handed quarterback Zorn. Jack Lambert on the tackle, but a first down. Well, let's see.
Watch Jack, watch him moving. He's got his eye right on Otis Brown, but they've done such a great job of penetration on that offensive line that he didn't get him, but maybe 8 yards downfield.
I may have spoken too soon. I called it a first down. Ball sitting on the 20-yard line where the officials spot it. And here's the measurement. First down. Otis Brown did not have an opportunity in St. Louis to run the football like that. He really is a tailback. In his college days, he was a fine runner at UCLA, and Jack Patera was able to bring him here, and this young man has added a dimension for Seattle, something they've needed for quite a while, because Sherman Smith has not been himself for a couple of years. Ham is out of there, and David Little, number 50, is in for the Steelers on defense. Largent comes in motion. Otis Brown again to the outside. Brown bangs down to the 15-yard line. David Little, number 50. Dwayne Woodruff, number 49, on the tackle. And Otis Brown, 24 years old, in his 3rd season, looking very sharp.
Superb run by Otis Brown. He got in there, found some traffic in there, just bounced off, took it outside, and legged it out there.
Ham comes back in for the Steelers. Little comes out. Tice, the extra tight end, is in. McCullum is out for the Seahawks. 2nd and 5 at the 15. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. Not this time. Coming up to make the big play, Tom Beasley, number 65. He made the hit. Miami and New England tied 27 all. Robin Cole did an excellent job for the Steelers on that last play. There he is, number 56. He's been hurt off and on, but boy, is he a brilliant performer. Minnesota over Tampa Bay. Look at Philadelphia. They're whomping St. Louis. Washington. And Green Bay and the Giants tied up in a dandy. Now Rabel, Largent, and McCullum are all in as wide receivers on 3rd and 9. Zorn swings it out. A good catch by Brown. That pass was not thrown so that he could really take it and go. L.C. Greenwood in on the passing situation, number 68 for the Steelers, made the tackle. And Efren Herrera will come on, the 7-year veteran from UCLA. Greenwood going off. He, of course, has been playing on the passing situations just for the most part.
Having a sore knee, hadn't played only in passing situations last week.
Herrera kicked a 54-yard field goal at Green Bay. This one will be spotted at the 28. 38-yarder is on the way, and it is good. So the Seahawks are on the board with 17 seconds left to play in the first period. 7-3, the Steelers. Efren Herrera for Seattle to put it in play. Pollard and Anderson are deep. 7-3, Pittsburgh. Larry Anderson at the goal line. And he goes! Mike Tice, the rookie from Maryland. Number 86. Tice used to be a quarterback.
And his brother is a tight end at Maryland right now. And when they switched him, he called his brother to give him some hints how to play tight end. Never played it before. They think that he's got a great potential. He's a big guy, 6'7".
A 10-yard return by Anderson. A big play by Tice. The Steelers start from their own 10. Mark Malone, the quarterback from Arizona State, playing wide receiver because of the problems with the Steeler receivers. Pollard fighting his way out to the 16-yard line. Keith Butler, number 53, on the stop, the linebacker. End of the first quarter here. 7-3, the Steelers lead the Seahawks. The Seagulls, that's spelled S-E-A. Entertaining here. Final, Minnesota over Tampa Bay, 25-10. As we went away, as you look at these scores, a penalty was called against the Steelers. Ray Pinney, who is a local boy from Shorecrest High, played at the University of Washington, played left guard last season, starting at left tackle for the Steelers. He was called on a illegal block, tripping call, puts the ball at the 5, first and 15. Franco Harris out to the 9-yard line where Keith Butler, number 53, wrapped him up. Harris picking up nearly 5 yards. Opening moment of the second period. Harris needs 29 now to become the third player in the game to rush for 10,000. We'll keep track of his attempts. He needed 10 attempts to go by Jim Brown. He has 5 on the day for 29 yards. Second and 10. Bradshaw throwing down the sideline. There he goes. Malone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The quarterback from Arizona State. Number 1 draft choice in 80. They're here from Uniontown. 90-yard touchdown.
He's got to be happy. Needless to say, let's take a look at it. Bradshaw just sees him. Mark Malone was wide open down that sideline. A definite screw-up in the secondary coverage. He's the best athlete that this team has. He can play all positions. You see him playing wide receiver. This might change Chuck's mind about getting him back to quarterback.
That's his first reception in regular season. He caught 3 during preseason against the New York Giants. And it's the longest pass play, 90 yards for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bradshaw to Malone. Timeout, 14-3, Steelers over the Seahawks. Mark Malone, Rocky Blyer, the longest touchdown pass in Steeler history. He caught it.
I'm sure that the wide receivers don't necessarily like a quarterback to have that record.
Will Lewis bringing back the kickoff. Zach Valentine, number 54, reserve linebacker, making the stop. And it'll be Seattle's ball at the 22 after a 20-yard return. 14 minutes to play in the second period, and the Steelers leading 14-3.
You know, it's really a shame because Seattle really came on that kickoff prior. They had they got them down deep in that territory. They stopped them on a penalty that really had them backed up, and then for one mistake, a breakdown, to allow a score.
Malone was sure wide open. an understatement. Zorn completing to the far side. Steve Largent. Oh, what a football player this guy is. That's his 46th catch of the season. And I'll tell you, he has caught a pass now in 61 straight games. Top receiver in the last 5 years for this team. A first down at the 34-yard line. Largent, who played at Tulsa. McCullum is out of the lineup, and Mike Tice comes in for the Seahawks. First and 10 at the 34-yard line. Play action. Zorn throws the other way, and it's Largent again. Largent got to the 44-yard line. Jack Ham 59. Dwayne Woodruff 49 on the stop. Pickup of about 9 on the play. Close to a first down. The Seahawks throwing with the double tight end arrangement.
Double tight end. They love to get it to Largent. That's needless to say, but he likes to run those down and out patterns. You can see on the screen a final right there. Miami over New England.
Miami pulled that one out. They were down deep early.
But as I was going to mention, Largent, he'll hit him on those down and outs, and all of a sudden he'll set him up for a takeoff in or a hook and go. That's in the game plan. You're going to see it sooner or later.
The Bengals, as you saw, leading early at San Diego. Here it is 14-3 Steelers. Second down and 1 at the 43-yard line. Zorn handing it off to Dornick. And Dornick has a first down and is in the Steeler territory at the 49-yard line. Jack Lambert, number 59 on the stop.
Just good, hard running by Dornick in there. He got his little sliver, but kept those legs moving and pushed that offensive line and defensive line back.
Dornick picked up 8 yards. He started the day with 79 yards and a 3.4 average. David Hughes has had some ankle and knee problems. He could play today. Baltimore over the Jets in the early going. Theodis Brown gets a couple. Down to the 46-yard line. John Goodman, number 95, on the tackle. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Seattle Seahawks and the National Football League is prohibited.
So you're seeing a lot of those two tight ends coming in. Primarily, Steelers have been blitzing of late with their linebackers. That just helps them have another man in there to block to cut it off.
That's Largent in motion. And the throw to Largent and a fine catch and a first down. Boy, made a nice move. Made a one-handed grab and then went for the marker and got the first down. Largent looking very sharp on this drive, a pickup of 8.
Consistency is the name of the game. That's what the Hawks have been criticized about, but they're doing it here. Throwing the passes, setting them up. That was a great pass to Largent over there. It was a pick, actually, with the column coming down, picking the back that was to cover him, but they executed it very well.
3 catches for 30 yards for Steve Largent here in the early going. Rolling out, throwing on the run, incomplete. John Sawyer, a tough catch for the big tight end, but probably should have made it. That is a tough throw, too, as you're rolling and going. Zorn hit John Sawyer, his tight end, who couldn't hold it. Clock stopped with 11:46 left to go. We're in the first half. The Steelers 14 and the Seahawks 3.
Zorn likes to roll out, of course, that's his big thing, and he'll do it equally to both sides. Going to his right is much more difficult because he's a left-handed thrower. Tougher to set up to plant your feet to throw the ball.
Zorn had completed 5 in a row until that one, and Largent, 13th game in a row that he has caught 3 or more passes for Seattle. 2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers in there. The handoff to Dornick, and Dornick almost broke it. He gets to the 36-yard line, and Jack Lambert was the man who stopped him. And Dornick said, I should have had more. But it's tough to get more when you're facing that man, Lambert.
He could have almost had more. The Steelers had a blitz going on. Safety man coming up in the line. If he could have got by Lambert, there was nobody back there.
Now on 3rd and 7. Bob Coors is back in there for the Steelers. He gives them that good pass rush. At the 36 of Pittsburgh, the Seahawks. The blitz. And all Zorn could do was dump it off. Donnie Shell. And Shell and Zorn tangled up back there.
Well, they had that play set up. Watch Donnie Shell here. Coming out of his coverage position, nobody's picking him up. You can try an attempt right there. Luckily for Zorn, he just got it away, but there's no one there to receive it. Well, Donnie's putting on a little extra push there.
The fans here didn't like it. Sherman Smith is in the game, number 47, replacing Theodis Brown. 4th and 7, and they're going to go for it. Over it comes, and it's a tackle-eligible Steve August, but there's a penalty marker down. Steve August taking it on a tackle-eligible, but let's see what the call is. First down. Apparently, the flag was thrown inadvertently as the official thought he was not an eligible receiver.
Reported as an eligible receiver. The play is legal. First down.
He had reported Steve August, the Jeanette, Pennsylvania native who played at Tulsa, made the catch. A little bit of razzle-dazzle.
A great time to call it, but right now the Hawks are in a position where they can do those types of things. 2-7 season doesn't look like they're going to get to the playoffs, so they can take those chances.
That compounds the assignment for the Steelers.
Very much so.
1st and 10 at the 27. Brown and Dornick are back into the backfield. Zorn has trouble, and the Steelers come away with the football at the 40-yard line. In underneath the pile for the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 67, or it was John Banaszak, 76. Banaszak came up with it. Oh, the turnover. And the Steelers will have the football, leading 14-3 when we come back. Back at the Kingdome with Rocky Bleier, Jay Randolph, Franco Harris, 5 carries, 29 yards. Steelers leading 14-3. After the turnover, first down at their own 40-yard line. Pollard gets about 2. Up to the 42-yard line. The tackle made by Michael Jackson. Well, it was Von Schauman's 30-yard field goal in overtime that won it for Miami, 30-27. Houston 17-16 over Oakland. That's a final. Minnesota game, 25-10 to Minnesota. Philadelphia 52-10 over St. Louis. We'll have some more scores for you and some more football from the Kingdome in Seattle as Pollard is shaken up. A timeout is called with 10.5 to go in the first half, and the Steelers leading 14-3. Pollard has come out of the lineup. Ralph Berlin, the trainer, working on him. He came off under his own power. Sidney Thornton's in there. So it's Thornton and Harris, 2nd and 8 at the 42-yard line. Franco Harris swarmed over that time. Leading the charge was Mike White. Joe Norman, 52, along with White, 70, making the play. A Mosley field goal of 44 yards won it for Washington with 43 seconds left over Detroit. Jan Stenerud's 24-yard field goal gave Green Bay a victory over the Giants. In the fourth quarter, Chicago still holding on to that lead over Kansas City. Cincinnati with an early lead down at San Diego. Denver has the lead over Cleveland first quarter. 3rd and 7 from the 43. Bradshaw and throws, complete for a first down. Benny Cunningham. Cunningham goes down as Keith Simpson made the tackle. Cunningham, a #1 draft choice in '76, his 31st catch of the year, and he's had that right hand really hurting.
That he has, but he's been doing an excellent job for the Steelers this year. Brad looks that way. They have 2 wide receivers to the other side, changes the defensive coverage on him. Benny, the big man, is just hard to take down.
His old school Clemson kept winning yesterday. A first down at the 48-yard line. Pollard back in and gets to the 45-yard line. Pollard did a nice job of slashing through. Penalty marker down. In the second quarter, the Jets lead Baltimore. Atlanta and San Francisco scoreless down the way, and Los Angeles 3-0 over New Orleans in the second quarter. That brings you up to date on all of the action. And now Dick Jorgensen will bring us up to date on this penalty against Pittsburgh.
Holding, number 73, offense, still first down.
Call goes against Craig Wolfley, the second-year man from Syracuse, #5 draft pick.
Jackson, number 55, did an excellent job of getting penetration. That's a key defensively to get penetration. He took on 2 blockers, Russell Davis and Wolfley, for the cornerback to make that tackle.
Cunningham is a wide receiver set out to the right side. 2 wide receivers set left. Set up the screen to Franco Harris. Harris to the 45-yard line of the Seahawks. Franco Harris, his 15th catch of the season. A pickup of 15 on the play. Cincinnati now 10-0 over San Diego. Cincinnati has the lead in the Central Division, 6-3. The Steelers 5-4. Houston with that win now.
Making things awfully,
5-5.
I was going to say, Jay, making things awfully exciting and awfully tight in that Central Division race.
Yes, indeed. Parity has come to the National Football League, Mr. Blyer. 3rd and 6. Tuiasosopo stops Franco Harris. It's going to be 3rd down. I think I said 3rd and 6 a moment ago. It was 2nd and 6. This will be 3rd down and about 7 after a loss on the play.
Looks like that defensive unit of Seattle made some adjustments from that first series of plays. They're stacking up that run pretty well.
Well, I suppose it didn't take them too long to figure out they better key on Franco. Harris now has 6 attempts. He's 4 away from Jim Brown's all-time record for attempts in the league. Bradshaw throwing and intercepted. Dave Brown. Butler put some pressure on. Pass was intended for Stallworth, and Dave Brown, his 23rd career interception. Oh, the Seahawks will have it back when we come back. Steelers lead 14-3. Jay Randolph and Rocky Blyer, the Kingdome, Seattle, Washington. The Steelers have the lead, but they've just lost the football. Turnovers have been a problem for them. Bradshaw's 4 for 4 to his own people and 2 for 2 to Seattle. He's perfect on the day. First and 10 at the 37-yard line. That's McCullum going in motion. 3 wide receivers in the game. Out to Otis Brown at the 45, midfield. First down and into Pittsburgh territory. Robin Cole made the tackle, number 56.
Jay, you've heard it so many times before. Consistency, opportunity. The Hawks gave away an opportunity. They hadn't been too consistent before when they turned it over. Now they got the ball back, but you can see them starting to move.
I'm reminded that the fellow that intercepted that last pass, Mr. Brown, is a former Steeler.
Former Steeler, number 1 draft choice, came here on that expansion draft.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line. First downs are even at 7. Zorn rolling. Completes it to Theotis. Brown, and a first down at the 37-yard line. So Zorn using a lot of movement to stay away from the pressure of the Steelers. Pickup of 11. There's Jack Patera, 48 years old, a native of Bismarck, North Dakota. Played at Oregon for the Minions of Len Casanova, as they were called.
Come under a lot of heat this season, though, with a 2-7 record.
Has handled himself very well, though. Quite a gentleman. And Brown bangs down to the 32-yard line. Joe Green, 75. Gary Dunn, 67 in the middle. Green now is playing at the left tackle spot. Green has been a little bit miffed that he hasn't been playing more.
Well, he had been hurt, had a sore knee. Finally, he's gotten his opportunity. Didn't play last week at all. Age is creeping up a little bit.
Beasley has had some bruised legs. He's missed 3 games this season. Second and 5 at the 32. That is Dan Dornick. Dornick about 2 yards to the 30. Jack Ham, 59. Joe Green, 75 on the play. Dornick played at Washington State. Nice victory for them, 39-7 over Oregon yesterday. Our condolences to the Huskies, who took it on the chin, 31-0. Want to congratulate Pittsburgh, 47-3 over Rutgers, and Penn State, 22-15 over North Carolina State. Third and 3 at the 30. Double tight end arrangement. Sawyer and Kaiser in there. I notice Sawyer is not in there. I've got McCollum in there. Tice is the tight end. And the throw, batted down. Well, Zorn tried to force that in there to Theotis Brown, and there was excellent coverage by Robin Cole. Boy, that Cole is a great talent.
Very much so. Came in as a first-round draft choice. Has the strength, has the speed to stay with anybody. Has had injuries over the past, but playing very well this year. Look at right here. Dives right in front. Step with Theotis Brown.
Well, I wonder if we might have a fake here. You never know. Herrera's kicked the 54-yarder last week. He's already kicked the 28-yarder here. The ball will be spotted at the 38. A 48-yard attempt. It's on the way. Herrera, no good. Just short and to the right. 4 minutes, 43 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. Steelers 14, the Seahawks 3. NFL 81 coming up at halftime. We'll update you on the happenings of the National Football League. First and 10 at the 30-yard line for the Steelers, leading 14-3. Steelers' first visit to the Kingdome. Third meeting between these clubs. The Steelers won the first 2. Pollard out to the 35, the 40, 45, and out of bounds at the 48-yard line. John Harris finally rode Pollard out of there. Pollard has better speed to the outside, 18-yard pickup.
You know, they've always talked about Franco's blocking. Look at right there. He puts it on. Steve Corson comes in. Frankie takes a nice cut to outside. He's got good speed. You know, for a little stocky guy, he's got good power there, too. As you can see, he's struggling for that extra yard.
I suppose they've got as much speed to the outside now as they used to have.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they have that much speed.
A lot of people forget you got 1,000 yards plus 1976. Rocky Blyer alongside.
1,000 carries.
Yeah, 1,000 carries. Out it comes to Pollard. He's at midfield at the 45 and out of bounds down at the 41-yard line. Well, they put a man in motion, used a little play action, and found Pollard wide open. Keith Butler, the linebacker, 53 on the stop.
One of the big criticisms about Bradshaw this season is not taking what was given to him. Backs coming open.
You're very close to the Steelers, of course. The change in philosophy, and was this a problem between Bradshaw and Noel blown out of proportion?
Very much so. Very much so.
Malone is back in there. He caught the 90-yard touchdown pass earlier. Franco still sitting on 29 for 10,000. First and 10 at the 41-yard line. And Harris gets a couple. Norman, the middle linebacker, in his third year, number 52. Young man who played at Indiana. He's from Millersburg, Ohio. He made the stop. Let's pause now briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is KING-TV, Channel 5, Seattle.
Defense, still second down.
Call went against Mike White. Robert Hardy, who has that sprained ankle, could not play today. White, the free agent, called for the infraction. It'll be second down and 2 at the 33. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they beat the Seattle Seahawks 30-20 in 77, 21-10 in 78. And Pittsburgh's first time here in the Kingdome. Chuck Noll.
You saw him, Bradshaw and Noel, talking a little bit on the sideline. I'm sure he just gave him a series of plays and what they might do defensively.
Malone is in the game as a wide receiver. He caught the 90-yarder, a record for this club early on. Here is Pollard. Pollard at the 10, the 5. Pollard banging down, shaken up a little bit, slow to get up. Stop made by John Harris, the safety man. Also shaken up on the play for the Seahawks was Michael Jackson, 55, but he's all right apparently, lost his helmet. The ball is just inside the 5-yard line where it'll be first and goal to go. Malone coming off. Along with Stallworth, they've got the double tight end alignment. Benny Cunningham, 89. Randy Grossman in the game, 84. Hand off to Thornton. Thornton to the goal line. Touchdown! Second touchdown of the season for Thornton.
There's a story there, Jay. Sidney Thornton, first game of the season against Kansas City, had 4 fumbles, was benched, had not had much action at all. The emergence of Frankie Pollard doing such a fine job, able to get in because Chuck Noll is calling plays, ushering his backs back and forth. But you could see why they had him there, the power that he drives. He made that all on his own.
Well, if he regained some of his confidence, it certainly would help. Of course, Noel maybe will get a little confidence in him. The point after is good. 1:12 left to play in the first half, and the Steelers now have jumped out to a 21-3 advantage over Seattle. Some of the folks in the Kingdome, 21-3, the Steelers. Seattle with 3 timeouts left. Like to get something going. Here's the kickoff. Coming down to Lane, he's going to down it, so they'll start from the 20-yard line with 1:12 to go. Rocky Bleier, the Seattle Seahawks have lost 10 of their last 11 here at home. Been a tough time for them, yet you get the feeling that maybe they're just a few players away from really being a fine football team.
Well, Jack Patera has said that they had their great seasons in 78, 79, where they went 9-7. He says that this team, personnel-wise, is better than those seasons. A lot of hope, but things have seemed to fall apart.
Another overtime game. Chicago and Kansas City, 13-all and playing. L.A. 10-0 over New Orleans now. New Orleans without Archie Manning today. Pastorini playing for L.A. Here's a pass out to Sherman Smith. This is the 30. The sideline and out of bounds. And that brings them cheering here in the Kingdome. Sawyer was out of the lineup. They had Sherman Smith in there along with Largent and McCullum, and we'll get a chance to see this fine move by Sherman Smith, who played at Miami of Ohio.
2-minute offense. They use it very well. You can see him set up a screen right here in front of you. Sherman Smith, first time in the game, has had a lot of potential, but has been inconsistent. Theodis Brown came in, but he's there when you need him. Got out of bounds, stopped that clock.
Sherman, a native of Youngstown, Ohio. Pickup of 22 yards. First and 10 at the 41. 5 defensive backs in there now for the Steelers as Anthony Washington is the extra man in there. Robin Cole is out. Zorn throwing, and penalty marker. Sam McCullum, the intended receiver, and Donnie Shell was crawling all up his back.
He was all over him. He had both arms around him. Thought he was going to make the tackle before the ball got there.
First down for Seattle. Donnie Shell called for interference.
Well, we talk about momentum. Seattle has it now. They have to get down there to put 7 points on this board to get back in this ballgame.
And they've had it a couple of other times as we watch this play, and you see the interference call, and a good call it was. They've had momentum a couple of other times, and the turnover or some mistake has stalled them. And now let's see, they have 57 seconds left, still 3 timeouts left. Largent in motion. Blitz. They get it away, but it's dropped. Sherman Smith. Zorn read the blitz, saw it coming, tried to dump it off to Sherman Smith. Jack Ham was flying down there.
Well, they had it set up too. Again, a little screen over to the near side to Sherman Smith couldn't get the ball to him. He had his blockers out in front of him. But pressure, as I said before, for defense is the key. They got the pressure on Zorn.
Lambert, Ham, the linebackers. Washington, the extra defensive back with Woodruff, Shell, Thomas, and Blunt. 2nd and 10 at the 48. 3 wide receivers in there now for the Seahawks. Paul Johns, the rookie free agent. Number 85 is there. The throw comes to Dornick, and he is out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Donnie Shell ran him out. 49 seconds left in this first half. Pick up of 4 yards.
Seattle's using the clock very well. They're taking what's given to them, short passes, getting it out, stopping the clock, so they don't have to use up their timeouts. Now, big plays coming up, 3rd down.
Seattle started this game 12th on offense in the AFC, 14th rushing and 11th passing. The Steelers were 2nd in rushing and 8th in passing. And here is a 3rd and 6 for Jim Zorn and Jack Patera, the Seattle Seahawks. The blitz again. They beat it. Out it comes. Dornick.
Great pressure, look at right there, Jack Lambert getting in there, but Zorn had read it, got the ball off, and from then on it was Dornick. It was his great ability. He slipped one tackle, came across field, pick up his blockers as we see him come across field. Right there, last one thrown by Sherman Smith in for a touchdown.
The point after is good. And this crowd ignited by the exciting Seahawks who have battled back. 21-10, Steelers with 37 seconds left. Preceding announcement furnished as a public service for the National Football League. Dornick scoring. It took only 35 seconds for Seattle to come back. Herrera now, let's watch, might have an onside kick, a short kick. It is picked up by Malone, and Malone is hit at the 44-yard line. Pittsburgh has 3 timeouts left. There's the drive. 80 yards, 35 seconds.
Use the clock very well. We had talked about it. They have as good of a 2-minute offensive drive system than anybody in this league, and they used it very well.
Now the Steelers have 36 seconds with which to operate, and they have 3 timeouts remaining. Jack Patera, the head coach of the Seahawks. Played at Washington High School in Portland, and there is Chuck Knoll, a Cleveland, Ohio native. He'll be 50 in January. Let's see what the Steelers want to do, leading by 11, 21-10. Bradshaw gonna throw. A lot of time. Carey on the run. And out of bounds. Mike White. 26 seconds remaining to be played. After all of that, a 2-yard pickup.
Hey, watch one thing here. They're trying to set up a screen again to Franco Harris. The defensive line found out about it. They didn't let him even get out of the backfield. Terry had no place to go. Tucked it under his arm. At least got out of bounds to stop the clock.
NFL 81 coming up. Halftime, 26 seconds away. The Steelers leading at 21 to 10. Malone goes wide to the right. Along with Jim Smith, who is in there now. And Bradshaw over the middle. Oh! He had a man wide open. That was a poorly thrown pass. A little low and behind the intended receiver.
Boy, you can't do that when you're in that situation. You need the first down to keep the momentum going. You're sitting now in a 3rd down and 8 position. He had him there, was behind him.
22 seconds left to go. Jim Smith has come back out of the game, and we've got Malone going wide to the right with Stallworth, and Benny Cunningham comes to the left side. 3rd and 8. Bradshaw goes down, and that'll stop the clock with 17 seconds left. Mike White on the sack, number 70. Excellent coverage.
Great coverage. That's why they're ranked the way they are defensively. Watch this coverage out there and watch the receiver. They've done such an excellent job. There was no place for Bradshaw to throw without trying to force it in the middle. But by that time that Stallworth came open, that defensive line was on him. That was their 22nd sack.
They're going to run it out, and we come to halftime. The score at halftime. The Steelers 21, the Seahawks 10. Jay Randolph and Rocky Blyer with you in the Kingdome. Rocky, some people say that age is a state of mind, but in football, the physical aspects are very rough. There's an interesting statistic.
Very much so. One of the big criticisms about the Steelers is that they're getting old, that they weren't doing it. But as you were saying, it was a state of mind. You can see they're only ranked 7th.
Not so old.
Not so old. 26 years old. People are probably saying, 26 years old and is old. See the top teams, 27. That's not old at all.
You've been looking at the statistics.
Statistics are a big factor. Total net yards, 245 for Pittsburgh, 181 for Seattle. Interesting stat in that total yardage is the rushing yardage. Steelers have come up for 104. Seattle's only got 41. But in passing, it's pretty equal, 140 to 141. So that's kind of an interesting situation. The Steelers have been able to control the ball. Time-wise, 3 minutes difference in possessions, but 2 turnovers by the Steelers and interceptions that set up some good field position for Seattle.
In the first period, Pittsburgh at 6:45. Harris scoring. Point after was good. Seattle got a score at 14:43 in the first. Herrera 37-yard field goal. Malone and Bradshaw combined for a 90-yard pass in the second period with 49 seconds gone. And Pittsburgh at 13:48. Thornton a 4-yard run. And Seattle on Dornick's 44-yard pass. We're 21-10 at halftime. Harris has 36 yards on 9 carries as Trout kicks off. They're underway. That is Gary Johnson or Eric Lane. Lane out over the 15 to 20, 25, 30. And he got to the 31-yard line. Fine return by Lane and Zach Valentine again on the specialty unit for the Steelers. A 25-yard return by Lane, number 37, from Brigham Young University, the rookie. Number 8 draft pick. Zorn, Brown, and Dornick in the backfield for the Seahawks. Down 21-10. From the 31-yard line. McCullum going in motion. Blitz is on. They set up the screen, but Theodis Brown could not handle the toss from Jim Zorn. Pressure from Goodman from the left end spot.
Defensive line for Pittsburgh has been doing an excellent job. It's kind of a new defensive line with some young people in it. John Goodman, as you see, put some pressure on. Ball was just a little overthrown.
The rookie, Paul Johns, out of Tulsa, free agent, is in as a wide receiver now, along with McCullum and Largent. Yarno at center. Played at Idaho and Gonzaga High in Spokane. Anchoring that offensive line. Theodis Brown. Oh, and he almost stepped away, but a very fine play indeed made by Gary Dunn, number 67 for the Steelers. In his 5th year. First full year as a starter. He did an excellent job.
Watch my old roomie right there, Mr. Lambert, having his problems and hands full with Yarno. Pushes him back. Wasn't able to get on it. I'm sure he's going to thank Gary Dunn for being there to make that tackle.
They were kidding him yesterday. He said he can't find a new roommate anywhere. Nobody wants room with him.
Nobody took care of him as well as I did.
3rd and 6 at the 35. Steelers in a prevent defense with the extra back in there, and Zorn throwing and completing here on the near sideline. Waited to the last minute. Got it to McCullum, but he didn't have enough for the first down. Picked up 4 yards on the play, and it's punting time for Seattle. And for the second time this afternoon, we'll see Jeff West. West, a free agent, played with Cincinnati and San Diego. Played at the University of Cincinnati. And he was an original draft of Cincinnati on the 5th round. Larry Anderson is set to receive this punt from Jeff West. His only punt in the game, 36 yards. A high boomer. This is a big kick. Anderson at the 12. 15, 20, 25. And caught from behind as he got to the 28-yard line. Jim Jodat, number 43 on the specialty unit for the Seahawks, made the stop. Fine punt and a fine return. The punt was 49 yards, 16-yard return. There are the statistics. Cincinnati 6-3, leading down at San Diego. Pittsburgh 5-4, leading here. Houston a winner at 5-5. Cleveland 4-5.
Big game here. Big game.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Terry Bradshaw at the controls. The pitch comes back to Pollard. Pollard's got problems and is ridden out of bounds by Ken Easley. Easley, the number 1 draft choice, says, hey, I'm not doing anything. We're trying to play football out here.
The man who did an excellent job on that play was Mr. Green. He took out not only the tackle that was trying to block him, but also he grabbed a hold of Franco Harris. He just set it up for Easley to come in.
Pollard has 53 yards on 9 rushes. And Russell Davis comes into the backfield now for the Steelers. Davis from Michigan. Number 45. Malone is in as a wide receiver on 2nd down and 8. That's Malone at the bottom of the screen. Bradshaw to Pollard. Pollard gets to the 33-yard line. John Harris, with help from Tui Asisopo, made the play.
A little scuffling going on down there.
This defensive unit of the Seahawks come out fighting here. They're fired up indeed. Play coming in, Sidney Thornton bringing it in as we look at Jack Patera. Played for the Colts and the Cowboys, 13 years an NFL assistant before he got the job here now in his 6th season. 3rd and 4 at the 34. Down. Keith Simpson on the tackle. Fine effort by Russell Davis, the number 4 draft choice a year ago.
Did an excellent job of splitting the 2 tacklers that were coming in. Otherwise, they would not get that first down. Just split them right there, snuck in, got it over that line of scrimmage. Watch it right here coming in. See him make a decision and then just turn his body split and reach for that first down. Good play.
Dave Brown had a good shot at him, but went right by him, a little overzealous. 1st and 10 at the 39. Franco Harris. No gain. Michael Jackson, the linebacker, number 55. Mike White the 10th rush in this game for Franco Harris. Harris now with a new record, 2,360 carries.
Let's take a look at that. Benny Cunningham coming out, trying to hook Jackson there. Kind of missed him. Allowed Jackson to get penetration, and Franco just didn't get the yardage. No room to run.
Cunningham looked like he was trying to find somebody to block and just came up empty.
Rather than going straight off the ball, he tried to hook him.
2nd and 10 at the 39. Bradshaw over the middle, completes it. Russell Davis down at the 44-yard line. Michael Jackson there on the tackle, along with Keith Butler. Jackson 55 and Butler 53. The outside linebackers, a 6-yard pickup. Rocky, we have, something that I think is a bit unusual as we look at Chuck Noll, the mentor of the Steelers. We have two clubs who play 4-3, basically.
Not too many teams that
Not
do
anymore.
it. They were talking to the Steelers. This is one of 2 teams that play the 4-3 that they have met. Sometimes that's a bigger adjustment than it used to be going against that 33.
3rd and 4. Franco Harris. First down. Joe Norman, the linebacker, made the stop. First down, the game near the 45-yard line. Pickup of about 10. And Franco needs only 12 yards to become the 3rd player in the NFL's history to rush for 10,000.
Whenever the Steelers wanted to pick up yardage, they're running to their left, going to that right side of that defensive line, talking about stacked linebackers. That was one of the reasons. Every time that they decided to go right, you could see Franco not making any yardage.
Harris out of the game, and Russell Davis is back in. It's a first down at the 45-yard line for the Steelers, leading at 21-10. Pollard cuts it in. Pollard did some good running on his own there, Rocky, down to the 40-yard line. This guy really puts his head down, sticks it in there. Mike White on the tackle. And let's look again at Frank Pollard. 24 years old from Baylor.
Did you see Frankie Pollard come to the top of your screen? Watch 79, Jacob Green right there. Caused him wide. He just makes a nice cut, and with the power we've been talking about, picks up yardage that otherwise wouldn't have been there.
Not bad for a gentleman picked up on the 11th round. 2nd and 5 at the 40-yard line. Harris is back in the game. He and Pollard in the backfield. Franco down to the 35, to the 34-yard line. Harris wrapped up by Mike White, number 70. Pickup of 6. Well, that means that he needs about 6 yards for the 10,000. One of the Seahawks is shaken up. Number 74, Tuiaso Supo. Now playing it in, number 74, Tuiaso Supo shaken up. A timeout with the Steelers leading 21-10 in the 3rd quarter. Up to now, the Steelers have passed 11 times for 158 yards. They've rushed 28 times, 134 yards. 1st and 10 at the 34. That's Malone in motion, penalty marker down. The pass comes to Malone at the 25-yard line, but markers are down all over the place, and I have a feeling that it's a procedure call against the Steelers.
Terry Bradshaw gave his little movement to get the Mark Malone in motion. Franco took a couple of steps, had 2 guys in motion at the same time.
Franco stepped up on the wing right.
That's right. All knowing that he made a mistake.
Penalty backs him up to the 40.
Offense, still first down.
See him get set. Well, now he gets set again, but Malone was already in motion at that time.
Be 1st and 15. 9 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Steelers leading 21-10. Bradshaw with time. Throws to Harris. Harris holds on as he was hit immediately at the 34-yard line by John Harris. A pickup of 7.
You know, he can do it all. I mean, he can run the ball, he can catch the ball, turn into be a pretty good blocker. You see him come right out here. You see nobody around him. When the Steelers put 2 receivers to one side, that defensive secondary moves back awfully far and there's no support.
He needs only one touchdown now to tie Jim Taylor at 83 to be second all time. A fellow named Jim Brown had 106.
Tough to catch.
Second and 10 at the 34, and that is Russell Davis. And he is stacked up at the 32. Jacob Green, who's played a fine game at left end for the Seahawks, big number 79. He was on the all-rookie team, a number 1 draft choice. Green does an excellent job.
He does everything. He's got great speed. Last week, he knocked down a pass in the secondary, covering the back coming out of the backfield.
We've got Sidney Thornton and Russell Davis in the backfield now, with Pollard and Harris sitting it out on 3rd and 7. Malone comes to the right side. Malone. Ken Easley on the coverage, number 45 right there, knocked over a cameraman.
You know, that's what I like to see. Not too often does a player stop and talk to the guy that he knocks over.
At San Diego, Lewis Graven, 101 yards with a pass interception for Cincinnati. 31-7 now, Cincinnati leading.
Well, that game's kind of blown away.
4th and 7. 49-yard attempt coming up for David Trout, the rookie from Pittsburgh. Whipped it out of there. And the Seahawks defense gets a nice round of applause. When we come back, Seattle will have it in excellent position. Steelers leading 21-10. Moment ago, the field goal missed by the Steelers' David Trout. He had kicked 6 in a row, Rocky. Now let's see what the Seahawks can do. 7:40 left, 3rd quarter, 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Otis Brown in trouble. Fumble. Brown lost the football, but retains possession at the 27-yard line. They've just changed that interception we told you about a moment ago. Here's Chicago winning in overtime over Kansas City, 16-13. It was Lewis Breeden who went 102 yards on the interception, 31-7, Cincinnati. And Denver leading Cleveland, 10-7 at half. The Jets over Baltimore in the 3rd quarter. McCullum in motion. Zorn out to Otis Brown. Brown up the sidelines. Look at this cutback. To the 31-yard line. Tackle made by John Goodman, and we've got penalty markers flying all over the place. Dornick in there. What the call was. And right now, Jack Lambert is really hot at Dornick about something.
Boy, he surely is. There's one man you don't want to get mad at you right there. That hit he put on, you could hear all the way up here. When Brown turned around and started to run back, something happened in there.
Roughness, both teams, 58 defense, 33 offense.
Personal fouls against Dornick and Lambert. Manasak comes out of the lineup, and the Steelers now have Greenwood, Green, Dunn, and they are up front. They took Manasak out of the game. Robin Cole has come out. Washington is the other defensive back who is in there.
Just hoping that Mr. Dornick doesn't get the ball and have to come up against Mr. Lambert on this series.
Steelers just have the 3 men up front. 3rd and 10.
wasn't able to make it up. Fine throw. Young gentleman standing right there that does it all for Seattle, too.
So the Seahawks will set to punt it away, and Larry Anderson is downfield to return. There's Jeff West. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. A fake. And up the sideline. And more. Rocky, we talked about this earlier. The Seahawks playing wide open. And a 27-yard return up there on the rush out of punt formation by Jeff West and a first down.
You know, they can afford to do it. As I mentioned before, we talked about it, Jay. They're 2-7. Their season's kind of over with. All they want to do is look well, get things moving towards next season. Hopefully they can upset some teams. They pull out all stops.
And they might upset this team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. First down at the 41. Largent comes in motion. And it is dropped, and there's a penalty marker down. Let's go to New York, Bryant Gumbel. Bryant Gumbel back here, 21-10. We mentioned the penalty marker on this last play. Look again now at this Jeff West return up the sidelines, out of punt formation.
Well, there was nobody over on that right side. And as Jeff West takes it up there, they had a return going the opposite way, it looked like. And he just took that ball. It was a preconceived play for them. Turned out to be a big one.
Legal use of the hands against Ron Essig, number 64, the left tackle. Puts the ball at midfield. 6:20 to go. Third quarter. Steelers leading 21-10. First and 20 for the Seahawks. Theodis Brown. He gets down to the 48-yard line, a pickup of about 2. Banaszak, 76, is back in there, along with Lambert, 58, to make the play.
Now let's take a look at number 58, Mr. Lambert. Yarno's been pushing him back pretty much, but he gets away from him. He keeps that lateral pursuit going. Boy, he was going to punish somebody.
Lambert, the top tackler, AFC Defensive Player of 1980, quarterback in high school at Mantua, Ohio, played at Kent State. Second and 18. Zorn steps up and throws, and it is almost intercepted. He was trying to get it through his tight end to John Sawyer, and it was Dwayne Woodruff who almost picked it off. Largent coming back up the field saying, I was open, but it doesn't do any good if your quarterback doesn't see you. It looked like Zorn had his mind made up to go to the tight end.
Very much so. He threw into problems. They had underneath coverage, as you saw Dwayne Woodruff put on a burst to come underneath it. I think his momentum was going a little too fast, couldn't hang on to that ball. It bounced out of his arms.
Coming wide to the right, Paul John, the rookie from Tulsa. 3 wide receivers in, third and 18. Largent going in motion, now coming back, the screen off to Theodis Brown, and he breaks it down to the 45, but not enough for the first down. Jack Ham, number 59, on the tackle, along with Jack Lambert. Well, after the big play by Jeff West, the Seahawks just did not have the opportunity, and West is on, and this time he will punt. Anderson, fair catch at the 13-yard line. 4 minutes, 57 seconds remaining. We're in the third quarter at the Kingdome. Seattle and the Steelers, 21-10 Pittsburgh. Next Sunday, Interconference. Franco Harris needs 6 yards to become the third player in NFL history to get 10,000, and he's been down there pawing at that turf.
He's anxious to get going, I'll tell you that.
Malone comes to the near sideline. First and 10 at the 14-yard line for the Steelers. Franco Harris got about 2 or 3. Doug Sutherland, picked up from Minnesota on waivers, started the last couple of weeks along with Manu Tuiasosopo. They're on the tackle. Sutherland 69, Tuiasosopo 74. Pickup of 3. So Franco Harris 3 away now from a historical moment for the Steelers and, of course, for him. Second and 7 at the 17. Very close to the 20-yard line and very close to a record. I would guess he needs about a yard. They're saying that officially he has tied it. And they just made the announcement. Harris is coming out. He becomes the third runner all time to gain 10,000. Franco Harris.
They listen to the fans here. They really appreciate a great athlete. They're bringing Franco back out on the field at this point.
Giving him the ball, Dick Jorgensen. Jim Brown with 12,312. Ben Simpson and now Franco. And this has got to be a happy moment for you, Rock.
Boy, congratulations, old friend. You deserve it. And I'm happy to be able to be here to see you do it.
31-year-old Franco Harris, a graduate of Penn State. Bet Joe Paterno mighty happy. Well, we're going to go back and start playing some football.
You know, there's a man right there, I tell you what, got some little tears in my eye. I played with him for 8 years in that backfield, 9 years in that backfield, and I can't tell you what a gentleman and what a friend he's been throughout those years. This is something fantastic and terrific.
He's gone over 600 yards already this season. On 3rd and 4, Pollard didn't get it. Fine defensive play. Leading the way was Michael Jackson, and we'll pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is KING-TV, Channel 5, Seattle.
There's Jack Patera with his new man on the staff, Jackie Simpson. And we're going to get the first Pittsburgh punt of the game, Craig Colquitt, the 4-year man from Tennessee. 46.7 on 16 punts in the last 3 games. And this one kicked away and going out of bounds as it was Paul Johns who was back to receive it. So the Seahawks are going to get the football at their own 36-yard line with 2:47 left in the third quarter, a 45-yard punt. Franco Harris, 10,000 yards right here.
Right here, you'd see him coming in. Boy, all he needed to do was just pick up 3 yards. Offensive line knew that they had to do it and doing an excellent job. You see that quick cut, he goes down, he picks it up. Fantastic, a milestone in that man's career, out of many milestones.
First and 10 from the 36 for the Seahawks. Largent in motion, up the middle, Theodis Brown, and 58, Jack Lambert is there. I want to say something as they're scuffling again in the pile there. These fans in Seattle gave Franco a marvelous ovation. It's a very fine football city, this beautiful city of the Northwest, Seattle, and they love their football, and they love their Seahawks, and they've stuck in here very, very well at the fans of this area with a team that, there's a sign that would say right there,
10,000
thrills. Yes, sir.
You know, even though that he made it on that one run, that put Chuck into a kind of precarious situation. 3rd down and 3 with a timeout. Broke their concentration and their movement.
And they had to give up the ball. Here is Theodis Brown. like the play calling very much, Rocky.
They surely don't. I mean, they're really conservative when they don't have to be conservative. You saw them take it on the fake punt. You saw some other stuff right there. You see right there, last time in the NFL rushing with 96 yards per game. Doesn't say a great deal.
Now it's an obvious passing situation, and the Steelers have their prevent defense. 3rd and 6 at the 40. Zorn was hit just as he got it away. Intending is for Dornick, who was double covered here on the near sideline. There's a penalty marker down. And it's going to go against Pittsburgh. It still won't be enough for a first down, I don't believe, unless... Oh, it won't be, but it will give them an opportunity, of course, to go for short yardage. It's going to bring up 3rd down and just about
12
one.
men on the field. Defense.
12 men on the field. Illegal procedure call.
Boy, looking at Chuck Noll, I know he doesn't like to see that. That's a mental mistake, and one thing he does not like are mental mistakes. He can put up with physical mistakes, but not mental mistakes.
3rd best won and loss percentage among the active coaches. Chuck Noll. Dennis Boyd now comes in as a tight end, number 68 for the Seahawks.
Keep an eye on him. He caught one pass for a touchdown coming out of this situation.
First down. Dornick at the 46-yard line, making the 47-yard line as they unravel it. John Banaszak on the tackle, number 76. 55 seconds left to go. 3rd quarter. Largent and McCullum both come to the near side. Largent in motion. There. He was pressured, running full speed, throwing on the run. He and Brown combining nicely to make a little Seahawk magic.
He does that as well or better than any quarterback in the history of the NFL. Sprinting out to either side, especially to his left, being able to throw, that's a difficult thing, and to throw it on his mark, and he did.
Our good friend Lenny Dawson used to move out of that moving pocket, but I don't think he was as quick as Zorn.
I think he did it because he had to.
Down at the 41. This crowd getting with it. Largent coming in motion to the near side. Hand off to Dornick. Dornick inside the 40. Gets to the 39-yard line where Gary Dunn, number 67, wrapped him up. 20 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. The Steelers with 15 first downs. The Seahawks with 14. Pittsburgh leading 21-10. And we're probably not going to get another play away before we come to the close of the 3rd period. The end of the 3rd quarter. The score, the Steelers 21, Seattle 10. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. We're back at the Kingdome. Jay Randolph with Rocky Blyer. Down in San Diego, Cincinnati's leading San Diego at halftime 31-10. We'll update a Rolf Benerschke field goal, 47 yards. 2nd and 8 at the 39. Into the 4th quarter we go. Pittsburgh leading 21-10 over Seattle. McCullum in motion. Theotis Brown. Might have got more, but Largent was in a mismatch out here as Anthony Washington came up to make the tackle, number 42. Gain is down to the 35-yard line. 3rd quarter statistics.
You can see Seattle coming in from the halftime has moved that total yardage score up. They've been controlling the ball, moving it very well.
A scoreless third quarter here. Third and 4 at the 35. Big play for Seattle. Zorn completes it to Dornick. Dornick at the 15. Dornick, another big pass play earlier in the game, a 44-yarder. Now here, a 34-yard play.
You can see him right there running. The man that's chasing him, Jack Lambert, had him man-to-man. He got away from him. He just put on the speed right here, burst it. Luckily, Donnie Shell came in and tripped him up. Otherwise, they would have had an immediate score.
Dornick has caught 3 passes for 82 yards. The Seahawks very much in this football game with 13:40 to play. Down 21-10. Set up shop. First and goal to go at the 1.5-yard line. Dennis Boyd and the rookie Bill Dugan are in there to beef up the front line for Seattle. Largent goes in motion. The call goes to Brown. Touchdown, Seattle! The first touchdown of his career at Seattle for Theodis Brown out of UCLA.
Take a look at this play right now. They had a great opportunity. Motions are running high. Boyd does an excellent job. Largent there blocking him out. And Theodis just lowers his head, gets in there. We got ourselves a ball game right now, Billy Randolph.
Efren Herrera. The point after is good. 13-13 remaining to be played. 21-17. The Steeler lead is cut. There is Dan Dornick. 2 very big plays. He set it up. Herrera ready to kick off, and you got to be ready for anything, Rocky, here. A lot of time to be played, but it wouldn't, you might try the onside kick. Seattle's got a wide open situation. He booms it. It's a relatively short kick, and that is Anderson. Penalty marker goes down. There's going to be a clip called. Anderson returns to the 24-yard line. Grossman, I think, will be called for a clip.
Unfortunate situation right here. We got the ball in relatively good field position. Now they're pushing it way back. The way Seattle's been playing, let's listen to this call.
Blocking below the waist, I believe.
Illegal block in the back, number 84, receiving team, first down.
So the Steelers, leading by 4 points with 13 minutes to play, have to start inside their own 10-yard line. And the sellout crowd, 64,757 tickets sold, is really roaring for this defense. Harris out to the 12. Manu Tuiasosopo and Keith Butler. Tuiasosopo 74, Butler 53 on the tackle. It'll bring up second down and about 7.
We've talked about opportunities throughout this game and momentum with those big plays by Dornick and that touchdown. It is kind of shifted somewhat in favor of the Hawks.
Oh, these fans are fired up in the Kingdome. Bradshaw, lots of time, and almost intercepted. Kenny Easley, the number 1 draft choice, the brilliant rookie All-American from UCLA, closed on that quickly.
Really quickly, Jay, boy, he came out of nowhere. Brad didn't really see him, tried to lay it out there in the flat, and he busted on that ball, did an excellent job, couldn't get both hands on it.
Bradshaw trying to go to Franco Harris. Now here comes a third down and 7. Oh, all kinds of time left. The momentum in this crowd really turning for the Seahawks.
It's a definite factor. A definite factor in their favor.
Almost intercepted again. Kenny Easley. The pass was intended for John Stallworth. Poorly thrown. And the Steelers are going to have to give it up.
Look at this crowd. You can listen to this crowd as we see John Stallworth coming down. Kenny Easley comes watching right badly, right back behind him. He was open, could have had that needed yardage right there. They talk about crowd and the importance of the crowd. Last week with Green Bay, Coach Bart Starr said it was the crowd that allowed them to win.
Colquitt punting from the 3-yard line. A boomer. Paul Johns watches it go out of bounds at the 36-yard line. 50-yard punt. Seattle and the Steelers in a dandy. Seahawks have the football, Steelers have the lead, and this fella, Cliff Stout, is warming up.
Warming him up on the sideline. First of all, congratulations to Cliff on a recent marriage, but Jerry Bradshaw didn't want this situation to happen. He hadn't moved the ball very well in that third quarter. Looks like that Cliff may get his chance coming back into this fourth quarter.
First and 10 from the 36-yard line. Straight ahead goes Theodis Brown. Picked up a couple. Tackle made by John Banasek. There's all kinds of time. 12 minutes to play.
12 minutes to play. The only thing here is Seattle offensively, don't become impatient. You've been moving the ball. They've been controlling it in the third quarter. Take your time. The things that have been working very well for them, just keep going back to it. Don't try to get that big score right away.
Jack Patera. Chuck Noll. This has turned into quite a football game here. On 2nd and 8, Zorn steps up. Down the field it goes for Larkin. He's up to 15, the 52-yard pass play. First and goal to go, Seattle.
Okay, now you know why I'm not a coach. They wouldn't listen to me to begin with. They went right to the big play, and it turned out to be a positive one. What we've seen so many times before, these Seattle fans have. Zorn to Largent. Dwayne Woodruff just going down that sideline. Back into the scoring territory.
That's why Largent has been the top receiver on this club the last 5 years. First and goal to go, Seattle. Just inside the 10-yard line. Theodis Brown at the 5. At the 1. Theodis Brown looked like he might get it all. 9 yards. They're on their feet here. Listen to this crowd in the kingdom.
Theodis just found his way through there, slashing, going against the grain, found a hole there, and was just driving to get there, but he was down trying to reach that ball across.
Brown and Dornick in the backfield. Well, apparently, Jim Zorn did not like what he saw across the line of scrimmage.
Well, there also seemed to be somewhat of a mix-up in communication. Dornick came over to talk to him.
The 30-second clock had gone down to 2 seconds. Maybe that's why he called the time. 21-17, Steelers.
This is Byron Day in New York. Out in Denver, the Browns have finally broken out in front of the Denver Broncos. Saib, a 23-yard touchdown pass to Dave Logan. The score in the third quarter, Browns 14, Broncos 13. Let's go back to Jay Randolph and Rocky Blyer.
Thank you very much, Byron Day. Here, the Steelers lead in jeopardy. 21-17, fourth quarter, 9:46 to go. In the backfield, Theodis Brown and Dan Dornick. does not get in. Hit right along the line by John Banasek, big number 76.
Key man there was Jack Ham. Came in on a blitzing situation, got penetration, got a big mix-up back there as he hit Brown in the backfield.
Third down and inches. Here come the Seahawks. Biggest play of the year for them.
Might have been the big play, but this guy has been there when they needed him as you see him crossing that goal line.
Second touchdown of the afternoon for Theodis Brown. Herrera with a point after. On the way. Penalty marker down. Penalty marker down. Offside against the Steelers. It will stand. 24-21 Seahawks. There are the standings in the Central Division. Cincinnati is winning. Cleveland is winning. Houston has won. The Steelers are losing 24-21 here at the Kingdome. Herrera set to kick off. Are we going to see Terry Bradshaw come back in at quarterback, or are we going to see Cliff Stout? It appears it will be Bradshaw, who was just visiting with his coach a moment ago. Herrera puts it in play. Anderson at the 3, at the 15. Down he goes at the 18-yard line. Leading the way, Don Dupek. There's the drive a few moments ago, a 16-yard return. Terry Bradshaw is back at quarterback. 9 out of 15, 164 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. It was Chuck Noll who said, I have the confidence in Bradshaw, and apparently he still has it. And Zorn, who was on the hot seat, has had a great game, as well as Dornick and Brown.
Well, we're going to have to see what Terry does now. That option still's there as far as coming out of this game. Got to put it together.
Out to Franco Harris. 25, 30, 35, 40. Franco going. Penalty marker down. There is a penalty marker. Franco Harris went all the way, but we'll have to wait and see what the marker is. It's going to go against the Steelers. Holding against the Steelers. A holding call nullifies an 81-yard play for what might have been a touchdown.
Here's the call. Let's listen to it.
Holding number 73. Offense, still first down.
Craig Wolfley called for the infraction.
Let's take a look at it. You can see Craig in the top of your picture as he's getting out there. They set up the quick screen. Craig gets in there, gets his arm, tackles him, but a great run, great effort as Franco slides through that whole defensive unit and rushes for 81 yards. Franco is holding his leg down there. I don't know if he got a cramp or a slight pull. We'll have to get a report.
Harris is out of the game. Handoff going to Russell Davis. And Davis moves out to the 20-yard line. Clock showing 8.5 to play, a pickup of 7. Tackle made by John Harris, number 44.
Where we talked about Franco, it looks like he's pretty well. He's just rubbing it a little bit. Nothing serious. Just walked away from the trainer and the doctor. He's all right.
Third down and 8 from the 20.
Sissoko just ran around Ray Pinney out of that defensive end position, had no chance. Brad's back was towards him. Boy, straight in the middle of the back. No, he doesn't feel very well after that hit. But a big play defensively by that Seattle defense.
Patera complaining to the officials. 3rd and 8. Almost intercepted by Joe Norman. Intended for Benny Cunningham. Running time for the Steelers. And the excitement here is awesome as the Seahawks have battled back to take this lead.
You know, they talk about home crowds and playing at a home field advantage. It looks here that Seattle's taken advantage of that. This crowd's been standing on the feet the way this team has been playing, fought to come back, and has kind of turned the tide.
Colquitt gets the punt away. He kicks away from Johns again. Oh, it gets a great bounce. Look at this. All the way down to the 18-yard line. Colquitt punting away from Johns to the far sideline and getting a good bounce, a 62-yard punt. Next Sunday, we've got some great games for you on NBC, and you're watching one right here. The Jets in New England, Pittsburgh at Atlanta, Oakland, Miami, Baltimore's at Philadelphia. It all kicks off with NFL 81, Buffalo and St. Louis, Denver, Tampa Bay, Houston, Kansas City, Cleveland at San Francisco. What a day it'll be. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Rocky, we've got 7:46 to play in this football game. That's an eternity, as you well know.
Anything can happen, but right now, Steelers defense has to come up with a big play, stop this drive so that offense can get the ball and get back down in their scoring territory.
Theotis Brown to the 20-yard line. A pickup of 2. L.C. Greenwood on the play. Jack Lambert also there. The Steelers led this game in the first half 21-3 and are now down 24-21. 7 minutes, 20 seconds to play. The Kingdome in Seattle. Cincinnati and Cleveland winning. Houston has won, the Steelers losing. Zorn completing it to Mike Tice. The rookie from Maryland, only his second catch of the season. The free agent who used to be a quarterback. Pickup of 10. First down.
There's a big catch right there. It's a big target to throw to. He got the first down there. Looked like that Robin Cole had underneath coverage riding with him coming out. But Zorn, as he's been doing all day, zipped it right on target.
6.5 minutes to play. The Seahawks leading 24-21. McCullum comes into the game, and Tice goes out for Seattle.
You know things are going well for you. The momentum's kind of in your favor when you have an incident like that that turns out to be a plus. It could have been a big minus there for the Hawks.
Largent to the near side, McCullum to the far side. 2nd and 8. Largent in motion. Dornick got to the 35. Gary Dunn. 2nd in tackles for the Steelers. The big guy from Miami, number 67 on the play. 3rd down and about 5. It's a long 5.
Defensively for the Steelers, that team has been built on character. They've been in this situation before. One of the problems is offensively, they haven't been able to get it over the goal line. Done wonders inside the 20s, but not inside that scoring territory.
Largent and Rabel and McCullum, 3 wide. held on there. He had his receivers covered and didn't want to force it into somebody and take the chance of getting it intercepted. Banaszak on the tackle, number 76, coming off. And punting time for Jeff West. Jack Patera looking out at West, handles a low pass. Larry Anderson, fair catch at the 35-yard line. The Steelers will operate from that point with 4:43 remaining to be played here in the Kingdome. It was a 38-yard punt. Seahawks lead 24-21. Back in a moment.
This is Byron Day in New York. Out in Denver, the Broncos have just regained the lead on this Dave Preston 4-yard touchdown run. In the fourth quarter, the score now, Broncos 20, Cleveland 14. Let's go back to Jay Randolph and Rocky Blythe.
Thank you, Byron Day. So Cleveland not leading anymore. Here, Seattle leading 24-21. There's the young kicker from Pitt.
Might come right down to that man's leg to tie this game up in closing minutes.
Already had a couple of overtimes today. First and 10 at the 36-yard line for the Steelers. Bradshaw out to Pollard. Pollard down to the 43-yard line. Short of a first down. Pickup of 7. Mike White, number 70, on the tackle. Rocky, some people may be sitting at home back in the Keystone State saying, well, still going with Bradshaw.
It's been a concern of many of the fans. Why not take them out if things aren't going well? Put Cliff Stout in or might change it around.
Well, I guess Chuck Noll's philosophy is you go with the man who brung you, right?
That's right.
That time, Russell Davis close to a first down at the 46-yard line. Doug Sutherland, number 69, and Mike White, both picked up recently by the Seahawks and doing a good job, made the play. 3 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in this game. Seahawks leading 24-21. Tight ends, Cunningham and Grossman. Play action. Down the middle. It is complete. Sidney Thornton. Oh, what a fine call. Split the seam on the short yardage play. And a first down for the Steelers at the 25-yard line. Thornton comes through big, a 30-yard gainer.
He's done it many times in the past. Brad has called that play. Everybody's up on the line. A big defensive stop here. Play action play. Got Sidney down through the middle. It splits their defensive backs. He hits it right on target. Big play for the Steelers in the offense.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left. Russell Davis, a couple of yards. They'll indicate again that Franco Harris was limping a short time ago, and apparently they don't feel that he is ready to go full strength at this point. Last tackle made by Mike White, pickup of about 3. Ray Penny comes back into the lineup for the Steelers. It's Penny, Wolfley, Webster, Corson, and Brown up front. 2:20 to play. Bradshaw, 2 interceptions, 12 out of 20. Picked off by Keith Simpson. A break for the Steelers.
A big break for the Steelers at this point. Let's watch Benny Cunningham on the replay here as he's going downfield. Jackson, I think it was intended to easy. You can see receiver coming underneath. That's where the ball was thrown. Watch it right here. Oh, momentum going wrong way.
Malone goes wide to the right. With Stallworth, Cunningham set left. 3rd and 7. And off to Russell Davis. Davis, first down at the 14-yard line. Michael Jackson, the linebacker, but what a tremendous effort by Russell Davis, the second-year man, the short yardage specialist they call him, but he needed more than short yardage. 2-minute warning coming up. Well, we're going to have quite a finish here. Right now, here comes another one of those fantastic finishes. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Don Ohlmeyer, and our coordinating producer of NFL football, Ted Nathanson. Telecast of today's game produced by Kenneth Edmondson, directed by Barry Stoddard, and our associate director, Orlando Smith. Well, we have got a dandy here. 2 minutes to play. This sellout crowd in the Kingdome has had an afternoon, and it's not over. Malone goes wide to the right, Stallworth to the left. First and 10 at the 14-yard line. Down the middle, Stallworth at the 8-yard line. Stallworth hit immediately by the linebacker, Keith Butler, number 53. Butler read it well. And the ball is spotted at the 7. Second down and 3 at the 7. A minute and 35 to go. 24-21 Seahawks. Cunningham goes wide to the right. Malone and Stallworth left. Hand off to Davis. Davis is dumped at the 6. Big tackle by Keith Simpson, number 42. Timeout, Pittsburgh, with a minute and 11 remaining in regulation time.
That was a big tackle by Simpson because there was a hole for him to run.
We'll be back here in the Kingdome. The Seahawks leading 24-21. There's a young lady that has the spirit. Seattle leads at 24-21. A minute and 11 to go. Jay Randolph with Rocky Bleier at the Kingdome. It's going to be 3rd and 1. The ball just outside the 5-yard line.
Now, one of the situations right now is here. 3rd and 1. If they don't make it, does he go for 4 and 1? It'll be an interesting situation that comes up. A big play offensively for Steelers. Defensively, they got everything on the line.
Steelers led 21-3 in the first half. We're up 21-10 at halftime. A scoreless third period. Seahawks with 14 points here in the fourth quarter. Thornton stopped right along the 5-yard line. Leading the way was Tuiasa Sopo, number 74. Jacob Green, 79.
Fourth down. Here comes on the Dave Trout.
Going to play for the tie.
Play for the tie.
them in a hole with Cincinnati winning, Cleveland still very much in it, Houston winning, and that situation prevails where things are not very easy for the Steelers. Next week, they must play the Atlanta Falcons at the Georgia Capitol. Falcons playing San Francisco south of here today. This is the first of 3 tough road games for the Steelers. And after leading in this ball game 21-3 in the first half, the Steelers are down 24-21, 16 seconds left.
But it's bringing up a great question, a big question that's haunted the Steelers. The fact that the offense has not been able to move, to score, to put the points on the board. The defense has been in there as this clock is trying to run down. The Steelers seem to call out another timeout, or at least there's a penalty out there.
And there's a penalty also, right.
But it puts Chuck Noll into a situation. And that situation is, okay, fine. Do we bring Cliff Stout in now? Do we make our changes, or don't we?
Young Trout right there missing the field goal that would have tied it and most likely have sent it into overtime. He had missed one earlier after making 6 for 6. The Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania native. I must say, in all deference to him, this is a tough place in which to kick, an indoor stadium, a tremendous noise and that scenery behind you. But this is the big leagues.
This is the big leagues. One of the problems with the young kicker coming in is that pressure is built up. You have a tendency to rush the kick. Let me get it through. I need all the strength, when actually all you do is need a chip shot. And take it easy.
Steelers have 1 timeout left. There's only 14 seconds remaining. And barring something very bizarre, this is academic.
But we've seen bizarre plays happen before. Oh, haven't we? But I doubt if we'll see one here. I know the thoughts that are running through that man's mind, young Trout. On the other hand, there's Jack Patera, has to be very pleased.
We talked in the first half when they were down 21-3 that Seattle was close to being a good football team. They may have gained a giant step forward here today.
Clock runs down.
Yep. Well, they'll celebrate long time here in Seattle with this one. Listen to them come to their feet. The Seahawks have upset the Steelers 24-21.
It was a great day. It was a great game. You couldn't ask for anything more than that. But I know that the fans back in Pittsburgh have some concern about their team. Hated to see this loss.
There is Trout, who missed the field goal that would have tied it. It was a day when Jim Zorn and Theodis Brown and Dan Zornig and Steve Largent really did the job. They answered the questions. Now stay tuned for all the scores and highlights of today's game as the NFL Report with Brian Gumbel will be coming your way after these messages from your local station. The Budweiser NFL Report is brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Back in the Kingdome, Jay Randolph along with Rocky Blyer. 24-21, as I said, what a day it is for the Seahawks. Certainly has to rank as one of their great victories. They were not given much of a shot here today. And the Steelers continuing to have problems, Rocky, with their offense. And it is going to be something to be said, I'm sure, as to who will be the quarterback for the Steelers next week. We'll be back with more in a moment.